Hi, I'm Lauren from Lauren's Cravings over on Instagram. This video is going to be all about the essentials that you will need for after labour, so after you have given birth. Now, I was going to change, but I thought, do you know what, this is appropriate because this is pretty much how you're going to kick about for a few weeks, if not a few months. Let's be honest, after you've given birth. Housecoats will be your new best friend. Now, I wouldn't say it's essential, but it kind of is essential. I'm wearing my own plus my husband's, so I'm currently rotating between 5 housecoats. Whether you call it a dressing gown or a housecoat is a debate for another day. So we'll keep that. That is not in the list of top 10. The other 10 items are absolute essentials. Just steal your husband's if you don't currently have one of these, whether you call it a housecoat or a dressing gown or otherwise. So hopefully you're watching this because you watched my top 10 essentials for pregnancy and you found it useful. If you do, please like, comment and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. With that, we'll get kicked off into our top 10. So, similar to your pregnancy one, except with the addition of ibuprofen, I'm going to start off with pain relief. Now, paracetamol, you can see the size of the box I have here. I was using paracetamol daily probably for the first 2 weeks postpartum, so I would definitely recommend stocking up on that. Ibuprofen is for any swelling, so depending on what happened down there, I would recommend using this as well. Also handy to have in the house just in case you end up with mastitis if you're breastfeeding, because mastitis essentially is an inflammation of the breast and it is really, really handy to have. You can now use paracetamol now that you have given birth. So paracetamol and ibuprofen is number 1. Number 2 is, well, this is the brand name Lactulose, but it is laxatives. Now, I had put this in my birth plan or birth preferences that I ask for it before I leave the hospital, because quite a lot of people had told me that it would be required, essentially. And when I did ask for it, because I had a really straightforward labour, they basically told me, won't need it, you'll be fine. If there is an issue, go to the chemist. So I ended up back in triage a week after I'd given birth due to another issue. And safe to say, I hadn't been to the toilet, so I got prescribed this. I did need it. So my recommendation to you is to put it on your birth plan preferences, ask the midwives before you leave the hospital, and make sure they give it to you, because see, even if it isn't absolutely essential, it makes everything so much easier. And especially if you end up tearing down there, the first poo is never a pleasant experience, or the ones after that. It takes a while to get back to normal, shall we say. So, essential number 2. Essential number 3. I'm going to show my pants on a video, but big pants. They're clean, by the way, which is why they're all crinkly, because they've just been dried. You want high-waisted, okay? So you, in case you end up with a C-section, you don't want anything kind of like rubbing on where your scar is, which is quite low down, so like low-rise pants. You also want ones big enough that they're going to hold the next item. I'm still wearing these and they are very, very comfortable. So you just want ultimate comfort, essentially, but also ones that will hold item number 4, which is your maxi pads. So you bleed for quite a few weeks postpartum. And because of that, you'll be required to wear maxi pads. Tampons are definitely not recommended because something quite significant has come out. You're not going to want to be putting anything back in for a while, especially if you've tore. So I've got these ones which are the Secure Night, which actually have a better absorbency. You can get specific maternity ones. The cheap ones from Boots do. I bought them and actually they were absolutely fine. So you just want to stock up on these. I only bled, I think, for about 2 weeks postpartum, but I had a friend, she was 8 weeks. They say the average is about 6 weeks, so you're going to want quite a lot of them, hence why these are essential as well, because these need to go in this. I do know a few people, and I've not put this on my list because I haven't used them myself, that use the disposable pants. They basically have the kind of like the pads built in, and then you just discard of them after you've used them. So that is also an option. Number 5 is a loose nightie. Okay, so I got these on Amazon. I've also linked them. I've put an affiliate link on my highlights on Instagram. And there's a few things for consideration here when you're buying nighties, right? Depending on what you're doing. So the first one is, I didn't have a C-section, but they say a nightie is good for a C-section because, again, you don't have anything that is, you know, restricting you, or a band like you would have with pyjama bottom trousers. Pyjama bottoms, or just pyjama trousers, surely. So loose fitting, you know, nice and roomy. You want to be able to be comfortable. Another thing is buttons up the top if you plan to breastfeed. So I had bought this one because I was planning to breastfeed. I am still breastfeeding. I still wear these. The other thing, which I've only realised, obviously having had experience of wearing it now, is I would go with one with long arms if you plan to breastfeed. Reason for this is if you are breastfeeding in the lying down position at night time, obviously you have the covers nowhere near like you up here in your shoulders because the baby's head is here, and obviously you can't have covers covering their head or anywhere close to their head because it's a suffocation risk. So I have found my arms getting quite significantly cold because you've obviously got your chest out on one side, and then if you've got short sleeves you've got your arm out, and quite chilly. So if I'm buying more of these, which I probably will, go for the long sleeved ones. Loose nightie. Number 6 was recommended by so many people, and having used it myself, I can totally understand why. So specifically, my expert midwife Splits for Bits. So there's a few iterations of these by different brands. The amount of people though that recommended this, and I can confirm it is useful. It helps to numb the area down there. You can spray it on your maxi pad, you can spray it directly on, and it just helps take away that kind of sting that you end up with down there. So makes it just all a little bit more bearable, and for that. Number 7 is for a similar reason. So again, just to make things, you know, heal a bit quicker, be a little bit more bearable, and just offer you a little bit extra comfort. Epsom salts. So you're going to be encouraged to take regular baths to obviously keep things clean. You cannot use products though because you don't want to irritate it. So in a bath, obviously not in a shower, you're not going to be using gritty stuff up and around there. But when you run your bath, put some Epsom salts in and then just lie and soak. They're also really handy to have if you plan to breastfeed as well, because again, there's a tip of using a silicone like let down pump with these if you're having kind of issues with kind of engorgement or pain in the breast, to kind of help move things along, shall we say. So you can buy these in Boots, you can buy them online. They can be quite expensive. I got this packet in B&M and I think it was about £2 or £3. So really reasonable. If you have a B&M, go there to purchase these, and I got a few. They're also just really nice to use. I'm still using them and I'm 3 months postpartum. Who doesn't love some bath salts? And this one doesn't have a number, it is just a little bonus item, was another 2 things, right? So you've got aloe vera gel or you've got arnica. Arnica is excellent for bruising and swelling. You can use the gel, or you can actually buy arnica tablets. So if you have a particularly bad tear, this might be something worth considering. The aloe vera gel, I'm sure you have used it on sunburn. Again, it just provides relief. Some people actually put them directly onto a maxi pad, like a little bit of each, and put them in the freezer so that when you use them, you've got like instant relief plus the coldness, which obviously offers extra relief. I mean, if you put it on directly straight out of the freezer, it might be a wee bit of a shock, but I personally didn't do that, but I know plenty of women who did and do recommend it, so that's a little bonus addition for you if it's particularly bad. Number 9, I don't actually have, and I wish I had, so if I go through this again, I definitely will be purchasing it, is a Peri bottle. So that's for using when you go to the toilet for the few weeks postpartum, just to help spray water to dilute the acid of your pee, essentially, to make sure it doesn't burn. I used a sports bottle. And having done that, which is obviously the cheaper option because I think the Peri bottles are up to like £10 or something, but that gives you a constant flow. The sports bottle, you need to squeeze quite hard and it almost comes out like a jet, which can be a wee bit of a shock. And if you have not topped up with lukewarm water and you're using cold water, I wouldn't say it's a pleasant experience. So it done the job for me, but I would purchase a Peri bottle in hindsight or for next time. So that would be my recommendation. My 10th and final item, and I've got you a selection because I've got comments on them, is breast pads. So these ones I got from an Emma's Diary pack. Emma's Diary is an app that you can download, and you can download vouchers to go get free, there's like just little bags full of like leaflets for discounts for various baby and like new mum brands. And also they give you a couple of items like nursing pads, like little tubs of Sudocrem. I even got a bottle of Vanish in one, which was really odd but really useful for when you have washing baby clothes, let me tell you. So I had a few of these in my hospital bag. Interestingly, I'd probably remove that from a hospital bag because you don't really need them probably until about day 3, day 4 when your milk comes in, but essential for postpartum. So they're from the Emma's Diary. Download the app, get your free packs, definitely worth it. Supplementary to the Emma's Diary free packs, if you are a Boots Advantage card holder, join the Parent Club. So it is Boots Parent Club. If you're not an Advantage card holder, get an Advantage card and become a Parents Club member, because you get plenty of free items, including disposable breast pads. So I got like these, and I think it was like 50 in a box I got as part of the Parents Club. I also got a little MAM bottle, which was useful for when I started expressing after 2 weeks, which wasn't initially in my plan, but it meant I had a bottle available. And it also came with a little MAM dummy, which although Bryce doesn't use, and he hasn't taken to any dummies, the amount of people that messaged me and said that MAM dummies were, I think, probably one of the top in terms of like baby's response to taking a dummy or in the initial stages. So it's definitely worth having. That's just a couple of things I got free. So Emma's Diary, Boots, got them free. And then we have the bamboo ones that I got from Mama's Milk. You can see the difference, right? So I'm going to open this pack and just show you the difference. Right, so that's one of the disposable ones. And this is the Emma's Diary ones. They are the exact same. I mean, it's the Lancino. So they are, I mean, it's good, but they're the exact same as that. And then look at that material. All right. I would recommend getting these ones, especially if you plan to breastfeed, because you'll need them until your supply settles, which can be like 6 to 12 weeks. And these are much better than disposable ones because you'll be going through them hella quickly. Plus, these are more sustainable as they're washable. When your milk comes in, regardless of whether you plan to formula feed or breastfeed, you will need these, because if you're planning to formula feed and you just want your milk to dry up, you will go through a period of a few days, if not a couple of weeks, just where you're engorged and leaking. Hence, breast pads are essential. But not essential for the hospital bag, which I didn't know, because you've only got colostrum up to day 3, day 4, which I did know, but I didn't tie it up in my head. So that's just a comment I would make having recorded those videos. And that's those 10 items. So I hope you found that useful. I feel like I did go through that quite rapidly, but I'm trying to keep it short and sweet with these videos. They are essential, therefore the video should be quick and hard hitting. So let me know if you had any other items. I'm always interested to find out what other people found essential, hence why I've spoken to quite a lot of people. The items that I have chosen have generally come from advice I've had from other people, but also what I then use myself. So for example, this was suggested by a few people, but I would have said was essential, whereas I don't think everybody would necessarily have it in their list. You know your body. Kind of goes back to what I said in the labour video. You know your body. If you think this is going to be a requirement, just push to get it from the hospital. It'll save you a lot of pain in the days following. And what timing? My little Bubba is waking up. So thanks very much for watching, and I will see you for another video next week.